Today is the day. Time to get the mandevilla out of the waterfall, as well as remove some of my tender tropical plants that are inside the landscape and get them into a more protected area for the winter. Hi you guys, this is Nicole from My Carolina Garden. My garden is located in growing zone 8B and I am in southeastern North Carolina. As you can see behind me, the mandevilla has performed amazingly this year. I have had continual blooms, continual color, and all without a lot of muss or fuss. I don't have to regularly fertilize or even make sure that I'm regularly watering in that area because it's kind of a big planting area, not as big as the ground would be, but the planting area is way bigger than a pot would be. So it has been amazing. Needless to say, I will be overwintering these guys. I overwintered them last year also. I keep them inside the greenhouse because that's where they bloom continually, whereas mandevilla that I've put inside my house to overwinter, it stops blooming and basically goes dormant for the winter. So I'm going to go ahead and remove everything from the waterfall. That's going to be my first job of the day and get it going into my already pretty packed greenhouse. In case you were wondering what I was doing with the red flyer wagon, this was my kids' wagon and I couldn't bear to part with it. So I thought maybe I could put all the dipladenia into it so that they would have sort of a big space for all of their soil, much like they did in the waterfall. Of course, this space is smaller. This way they wouldn't have to be individually potted. So that's what I'm trying. Well, obviously that one was the biggest of all, and that's why he was my center point. I don't even know how the white is mixed in with the red, but oh my gosh, that feels amazing to get that out. Getting the waterfall this cleared out and having these guys in the wagon just tickles me for some reason. I don't even know what it is about it. But I put just a plastic tablecloth as a little bit of a liner to hold the dirt in. They're not going to need to be watered a lot over the winter anyway, just because they're going to be protected inside, etc. I'm not worried about drainage holes or anything like that. In fact, the waterfall didn't have drainage holes either, but it was a big enough space that nothing ever rotted in there. The roots were able to stretch out. There's plenty of dirt, all of that kind of stuff. So anyway, this is just so exciting to have this part done. And I'm glad because tonight's going to be the coldest night that we've had yet. And at least I'll have these guys inside the greenhouse protected. So here is the scoop. I was going to get more tropicals and get them ready to get inside of the greenhouse. But as it turned out, my husband had time to help me replace the panels, the greenhouse panels that we needed to replace in order to make sure that it was properly sealed up. So we ended up doing that part instead. And that makes more sense because then everything that's inside the greenhouse can be protected. So let me show you what we did with the greenhouse and then also how it's looking inside right now. We ended up getting these panels from Lowe's, these replacement panels. Now you can see a big difference between this one here and the clarity of the one next to it. However, the one next to it doesn't properly fit in here. Whatever. It's a long story. It doesn't really matter. But let's just say that we've decided that this greenhouse is not really worth the money we paid for it and the cost of replacing the panels like all the time. So I think this is going to be the last year I'm going to have this particular greenhouse. And instead of replacing all the panels on the front, like the door panels and everything, which by the way are extremely expensive, we decided to actually use packing tape to cover over some of the damaged panels. And that's just how we're going to work it for now. It stinks that has to happen, but it's so costly to replace these panels. So that's my rant about my greenhouse for right now. But the goodness, let's look at what is good in here right now. First of all, you can see some of my faves because I got my diplodenias in here. You'll recognize a lot of the stuff from all over, by the shade garden and the rock garden, everywhere. I have a bunch of beauties that are up here. I just watered everything because even though the nights are cool, the days are hot, which means it's even hotter in here. Now, these things have not been in here for what? A few days maximum. And look at this. I already have aphids on my hibiscus. And that's bad news. Once you start getting bugs inside your greenhouse immediately, you have to take care of that problem. So that guy is going to have to be sprayed with neem oil, unfortunately, because I hate the smell of neem oil inside the greenhouse. We did add that rustic little shelf up high, so it's a little cutesy place for a few things to be. And plus, I needed some shelving, so that's just step one in what we were going to accomplish in that realm. And then, of course, as you can see, more of the Diplodenia, and that is the pink feathers coleus. That one, because it's a more rare one, I said I was going to keep that. And of course, my poolside flower pot that has the bromeliads, and of course the begonias that did amazing this year. So that's in here. And then of course, my purple bougainvillea is right here. Just to get out of making a shadow for you, you can see my pygmy date palm right here. And then over here is where my wagon is. And it's just because of all the work we were doing putting the panels up, I had to pull the wagon back outside again. But that baby's going in for the evening. All things considered, I feel very thankful for still having this greenhouse space to be able to house all of my beauties. And next year it's just going to have to be some sort of a different game plan, and I don't know what that's going to be yet, but we will cross that bridge when we come to it. So for now, I hope you like what you see in here and all of my saved tropical goodies. And I hope you're looking forward to our greenhouse chats, because they will be coming up soon as the weather turns cold enough to just be in here with all my plant babies. Subscribe to my channel if you have not already done so, and definitely follow me on social media for pictures to see how things develop in real time. And until next time, you guys, happy planting.